right. Alright guys, so now that I actually have the technology to be shooting and walking at the same time with the power of my two hands, because usually I would always carry the, just a regular handheld camera, and I found that it was, a bit annoying having to carry that in front of me the whole time. And plus it does weigh a little bit, not that much, but just enough to kind of create like a nuisance, and it gets really annoying being able to, or not being able to, just having to, have it around just to record. But now that we have a GoPro here, it's on my chest, I can just shoot and walk and just pretend like you guys are with me. And right now I just want to, just toy around and just test it and everything, because I always talk about meeting you guys to 3 checkpoints. There's always 3 that I like to call the beginning portion, which I probably should have started recording there, but I never plan shit ahead. I always do things on the fly because I feel like that's a little bit more authentic, right? But yeah, there's 3 checkpoints that I like to call. One is initially on the parking lot. Then there's one where the American flag is at, or the ranger station. I call it the station. And the third one where I like to really just set up, things and prepare everything before I start shooting. But I figured right now, why not just, play around with this, see what it captures and how good it captures it. Because I never really tested it in like an outside environment like this. And the good thing about this, I also want to take it up in the mountains, because although we did already finish one mountain, right? But that was like around, I don't know, like a year ago. But I didn't get to show you guys like the what we call like the points, the milestones. I don't know what they call it, because there's only like really 2 sections on there. It's like the midpoint and then the summit of the mountain, and that's when you know when you completed one section. But of course, for someone like me, any little section that's like a stop where you can just rest up, I call that like a checkpoint or something, because it adds more fun to it, in my opinion. But yeah, it's actually a little bit more better. It's a lot more relaxing being able to just, just talk and all that. Of course, people might come around and just see you and all that. They might think you're crazy, but it's 2019. Like, who doesn't talk to a camera nowadays? And plus, they can see this obvious ass chest piece on my chest here, and they'll know, okay, maybe he's making a video or something. But so now you guys can kind of see a little bit more of how I reach from point A, point B, point C, and whatnot. Because I always say, see you guys down there and all that, and then I just cut to where I left off. I put the camera in my bag, and I walk my ass to the next section, and then do it all over again. Set it up and all that, which isn't a lot of work, but you guys, get the point. It gets a little bit annoying having to do that. And by the way, I'm just using these points. I don't really need these to, walk up and all that. Like, I know I always like to brag. If you follow me on Instagram, you guys know that, I like to make fun of myself quite a bit. And, it just comes to the point where you have to kind of learn to laugh at yourself. You have to learn how to just, don't take yourself so seriously. And that's what I always do on Instagram. And granted, I probably won't say the things I say on there to a real person, like face to face, because it is kind of rude. Like, for example, right here, I want to be authentic, and I will say things like crippled instead of handicapped, right? But either way you put it, I feel like they both sound kind of bad, doesn't it? Like handicapped and crippled, or disabled. There's no nice way of putting it, because again, there's really nothing nice about being handicapped and all that. But like I said, I learned how to laugh at myself, not to take myself seriously. But I'll get back to the story. But this is a section, if you guys recall, in like a lot of my videos, this is where I always start. It's like in the front. Let's go these stairs, man. I'm not going down there. I can away just in case I fall or something. I always start like right there in the middle, and that's where I really just set up everything. And that's a little alley, the little way I guess you can get down if you're someone like me who's afraid of stairs. And this is where I just really set up everything, and I start shooting. But now I figured, you know what, why not just do it, and just, you know, just show the way instead of just cutting and pointing and all that. And there's more sections over here. So these, you see all that over there? All those are trails that we have yet to even tried exploring. Now, like back in the day, before I even started doing any of this YouTube stuff, me, my dad, and my mom, we used to, well, not used to, we just did it like maybe twice. We said it was going to be like a thing that we would just do because it's, you know, it's good to go out and exercise and all that. But we just did it like once or twice, and literally there was like no end to these trails. And I mean, there's obviously ends to the, it will just lead you to another section of the mountain reserve, to another street or another parking lot. But it's like, you know, miles of, you know, walking, hiking. If you like, you know, terrains and all that, then it should be easy. Oh, here's a better view. So yeah, there's like multiple ways in which you can, you know, just go down and everything. Like this right here, this would be like an awesome ass, you know, shot for someone that likes to do like the extreme sport and everything. And you know, to me it's like a lot of fun as well. I would love to be able to just climb down here, and I think I might be able to if I take it really slow and come down and everything. But you know, why risk breaking my head and all that if I can just take the trails right there? As you can see, they really have it nicely panned out, so you can just, you know, take it and all that. In case you're like, but you know, like I said, if you're like an extremist and you like living on the edge, you can definitely just take these and just walk all the way over there. But anyways, those sections over there, they just lead up to more trails that can go all around. And of course, there's some like signs that basically tell you, like if you can see that yellow sign over there, I can't really zoom it in because it's in my chest and everything. But there's like signs that basically tell you when you're getting out of, you know, out of bounds or area zones and all that, that isn't, there's no supervision or that people haven't gone through. So they do give you those warnings, or they tell you, you know, the trail is closed for some reason or another. And that's one thing. But you know, the trails just lead up more and more over there. And like I said, myself, I guess, I haven't really explored much of those sections or this section at all. This is just where I just start. Mainly where I explore, or where I want to complete first, is this section over here. And you see that one right, that tall peak right there that I'm hopefully pointing at the right direction. We actually climbed that already, guys. Yeah, like a year ago we've completed that peak. But again, I did it without the GoPro, and I did it without me actually showing the trail, which I want to redo again, because I don't know, I feel like I have a point to prove. I feel like I have to show proof that I've done it, or else people would just be like, oh, we just did it in a period of like a week, and then you just shot like multiple shots and you just piece them together, which is not the case. I just did it in one go. But anyways, I'm gonna start heading back down. all this section here. All right. So now we're going to go back down to the midpoint where I hope we can start climbing. Oh, anyways, this is the Apache trails. So there's like, again, that's like 4 sections. Apache, Hopi, Hoppy, I don't know what's called, the Indigo, and I'm missing one. And I claim to come here all the time, right? The Mohave? Yeah, there you go, the Mohave. So the 4 trails. Oh, here's the I'm stuttering like an idiot now. There you go. These are like the warning signs, basically, that you get. Like area closed and all that. But of course, like I said, if you're an extremist, you won't care. You would go wherever your heart contents. And if you get lost, that's your responsibility, honestly. But yeah, like I said, there's like literally dozens upon dozens of trails that we've yet to explore. And it's definitely something that I want to be able to do eventually. It's going to take a while, but you know, then again, it's not like YouTube is a, you know, like a, what's it called? It's not like it's a, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you have a dead end, like, or like a deadline or some shit over there. It's gonna come to an end. It's forever. It's your YouTube channel, right? But yeah, it's gonna take a, you know, a lot of videos and a lot of hours of just coming down here and, you know, just trying it, because again, it's not like you could just do it in one go, because you don't know how long it is. And well, you kind of do, you know, you get an idea of how it will be, because it kind of gives you like a warning. There's like a map in the ranger station. You know, damn map, you can barely see anything, but it basically gives you an idea of, you know, how many, you know, miles it is, you know, the difficulty range and everything. But you know, then again, if you're someone that gets a bit too overzealous, you know, like I tend to do that a lot. I always, you know, get overzealous with my own abilities, and I think I can do something, and then it turns out that I can't. And yeah, it becomes extremely difficult. It becomes a hassle, really, because for example, when I climbed that first one over there, I seriously, I was like around 13 years old, and I thought I was, well, obviously I was never in a good shape, you know, because my, you know, with my disability and whatnot. I'm not oblivious to that fact. I know I'm never going to be 100%, but I felt like I was in the best of my capacity, I guess. Like, that's the best I was going to get. I was 13. I was going to school. I was very active, and I weighed a lot less than I would do now. And yeah, when my dad told me, hey, you know, you guys want to, you know, climb up this mountain, I think it was me, my sisters, and my dad and my mom. And yeah, I was like whatever, you know, it's not gonna be nothing. I'm sure I'm gonna get tired, but you know, it's not as bad as, you know, he makes it, you know, make it seem, because he, you know, my dad always likes to exaggerate shit, and I thought, okay, it's not gonna be that bad. Turns out, oh, that was bad, like super bad. I remember I was dying up there in the peak, and the thing was, I knew I was tired, and I knew that I probably should have head back, but because of my pride and everything, I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. And I continued going up to the point where I was already at the peak. And even when we reached the peak, I didn't even get to enjoy the scenery or the view, because I couldn't get up the final hump, you know, because it was like a literal climb. Like, I needed to like throw my whole body to get up and everything. And it was just a nightmare. And when I was already up there and everything, my legs really felt like jello. So coming down was like, how the hell am I gonna get down? To the point that my dad literally needed to put me in his back, and yeah, he basically carried me down. And yeah, ever since then I was like, that was like, I guess, like the worst experience. Like, I've never been that tired in my life. Like, I've been tired, but not to the point where it's like my feet felt like jello. Like, I literally felt like I had no control over them, and I couldn't even get down. Like, I think the first step I took coming down, I fell, and that's when my dad thought, okay, he won't be able to go down. So he literally put me in his back, and he carried me down, which is a freaking long way down, and especially carrying an additional, how much did I weigh back then? Like maybe like 85, 90 pounds. And yeah, he just literally carried me all the way. And I think you kind of a little bit see the little trails. There's like a little snaky curve down there going, and it goes all the way around, and you just keep going up. And yeah, that's what happened. And that, I'm just going back to my point where I say that I always get overzealous, and I guess I believe too much in my own bullshit. Whenever I talk myself into things, I tell myself that I can do it, and I believe it, which I don't think is a bad thing, but it is, I guess I believe too much in my shit to my own detriment, I guess. And I guess a detriment to others, because again, my dad could have easily fallen, because 80, 90 pounds additional on your back isn't an easy thing to do, and he did all that.